that he grabbed by his neck and his chain, and then the chain had broke, and that's when the guy had moved away.
It happened in broad daylight around 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. 9-year-old Austin Parker was walking down Springwell Street near Senator with his babysitter going to the dollar store when suddenly
he was dragged down the street by somebody just out of the random and was trying to grab his chain.
Police say the boy was dragged down the road by someone trying to steal his fake gold necklace. Austin says he didn't know what was going on and was scared for his life.
I was trying to punch him, but he got too far. It was so scary. I never had that happen to me before.
Austin's injuries are clearly visible. He says he's scared to walk around the neighborhood now after the attack.
I feel scared. Every time I come out here, I feel scared.
Police initially had someone in custody but say it wasn't the right person. Tamara can't believe someone would attack an innocent boy who was minding his own business on his way to a store. She says from now on, Austin doesn't go far from her sight.
Keep an extra eye on them and hold them tightly every single night.
Unbelievable. Little Austin, 9 years old. Now he's scared to go outside. So where does this investigation begin? Lieutenant Colonel Adam Lee, let me start with you. It seems like they had one suspect already, wrong person. Kind of like an episode of Law and Order, right? You arrest someone, it's always the wrong person first. But so where do you go from here?
Well, my experience, Vinny, tells me that this is probably a person that's addicted to drugs, or has some sort of substance abuse problem. Anybody that would attack a small child for what appears to be some, costume jewelry. He didn't even know the value of it, but I'm sure it looked like it was valuable. But I would certainly be canvassing the neighborhood. I would be checking to see who would maybe be on probation in that area. You can check the probation list. I'm sure that they probably got a good look at the suspect. So they could even put flyers out, get a composite drawing of him and put those flyers at the, neighborhood stores or whatever. That's where I would start.
Dr. Darren Porcher, I feel so bad for this little guy. He's 9 years old. He's just going to the dollar store with the babysitter, and all of a sudden he's victimized. But I think part of what might help Austin get through this is if they can catch the person responsible. So there is some sort of ending and closure, and maybe someone could talk to Austin about all this.
Absolutely. When we look at how we would proceed with an investigation like this, it's going to bifurcate in two different directions. The first component is this appears to be an urban area. Therefore, there should be video at the different stores in that neighborhood, so to speak. The average person is photographed or videotaped roughly 100 to 200 times a day. So when we look at an urban environment such as this, we should clearly be able to capture some video that shows what happened on the street. The second component would be the intelligence in the community. Oftentimes, police departments, investigative units in particular, have people that they can rely upon for information. And a lot of your informants, in many instances, will move or introduce information in connection with crimes against children of 9 years old, for example. So when you look at the bifurcation of the semblance of intelligence from informants coupled with video that's been captured, that should promote a level of leads as to who was possibly the persons that precipitated or engaged in this horrific act against a 9-year-old. Because this is someone that should be off the grid. And believe it or not, most criminals are diametrically opposed to crimes against kids. Therefore, they will jump in and help if the need becomes apparent.
Lieutenant Colonel, the other part of this is at 9 years old, it can impact him for the rest of his life, the way he sees the world, the way, trust issues, everything else. Do you think it would be helpful if, I don't know, if he spent some time with the detectives or the investigators who might be looking into his case to kind of comfort him and reassure him that, there's good people out there as well?
I totally agree with that, but I also believe that he should get some sort of victim witness assistance. There are programs in place to help people to recover that may be traumatized by a violent crime perpetrated against them. So that's where I would be going. Definitely with a 9-year-old, he needs some counseling after something like this. You know, we don't want him to grow up and end up doing something like that, you know, becoming a criminal himself. So we need to get him some counseling, I would believe.
Yeah, and our thoughts are with little Austin. And if you're watching tonight, Austin, you're a tough guy.